the channel. It's great to be with you. I've had a couple of requests for me to do a full flip through of my Game of Thrones coloring books, so I thought I would do both of these in one video. Now, as you can see, I have the official Game of Thrones coloring book and I have the HBO Game of Thrones coloring book. So I'm going to start with this one because it was the first one I got, and then I will move on to this one. So let's move it out of the way. Okay, so as you know, or maybe you don't know, the Game of Thrones was written by George R.R. Martin, and it's a series of books which were later then turned into a TV series. So I really like these books. I think they're really beautiful, and I've only got one whip in here. I've only just started trying to work in these books. So if you apologies for any noise you heard, the neighbor was just pushing through a lawnmower. Okay, so on this side we have here all the artists and the relevant pages for the illustrations. Obviously George R.R. Martin is just the author of the books. All right, and then on this side of the book we have a little quote from some of the novels. So this particular quote comes from A Game of Thrones, which is the first book in the series. So as you can see here, we have got the coat of arms, or the sigil for the House of House Stark. Then over here is House Baratheon. Then here is House Lannister. This is for the Eyrie, if I've understood it correctly. Then this is House Tully. And then here, so this is, I think, the second book. And this is House Tyrell. Now, a word about the paper. So it is smooth on the sides. I don't want to touch the actual image too much because our hands carry natural oils and it can transfer onto the illustration. So it is smooth, but there is a little bit of tooth to the paper. Relatively thick, but it's not overly thick. So it's good quality paper. You can use mixed media on here, so watercolor, pencils, probably your water-based markers, unless you want to see the bleed through of alcohol markers on this side of the pages. It's up to you. All right, so here we have House Greyjoy. Then this one is House Martell. Then this is House Targaryen. All right, so then here we have Cersei. And this is Sansa with her direwolf. Then we have Sir Loras. Melisandre. Varys. So these are just the characters in the story, and each of them just really, really beautiful. So this is from the book A Dance with Dragons, and this is a ranger. Here we have a Dothraki. And again, you have a different book. This one is A Dance with Dragons. And then these are the giants. Children of the Forest. So a lot of them are actually coming from the first book or the first season. This is the Weirwoods. Typically, I think they were white trees with red leaves. So, all right, then here we have Winterfell. And then this is the Red Keep. Now, this is my whip, so I need to still continue working on this page. All right. And then this is going towards the Eyrie. And this is High Garden. Okay, so here we have a ocean-based scene and the boats traveling towards the Greyjoys, I think. Yeah, so the write-up just does help you with the picture. This is Harrenhal. Then Dragonstone. I think this is the Water Gardens. So I haven't read A Feast for Crows yet. I'm still getting there. Inside the Sept. And this would be one of the tourneys taking place at King's Landing. Some sort of battle scene going on. All right, so this one takes place in Blackwater Bay in season 2, book 2, Clash of Clans. And there was the green, kind of like fiery stuff that was going on. All right, here we have the dragons. A dire wolf. Here we have the crows, which were messengers. They were used very similar to homing pigeons. And then here we have a ship or a galley. These are the steps leading to the Iron Throne. So you could do a lot of sword work here, fabric. You've got chainmail, some metal work. All right, then this one is inside the private chamber of the King's Hand. So this would probably be linked to Tyrion Lannister. So again, we've got book 2. Here we have a feast. And then here we have more weaponry, shields, that sort of thing going on. We've got arrows. And then here is the 3 dragon eggs given to Daenerys. And again, you'd find that in season 1 and book 1. And this is the sword given to Jon Snow. And then here it ends with like a coat of armor. And then you've got the shield. So this could be fabric, and then you've got like this beautiful chain work. So this is like a king's dress or tunic, coat. This is the Great Hall of Winterfell, and it's got the banners of the Stark, the Baratheons, and a few others. So this is like the banners in a hall. We get to the end of the book with the about author, and then we can read up about the artists, some advertising, and that's the end of the book. So here is the full flip through of the official Game of Thrones coloring book, based on the books by George R.R. Martin. Now my second book is bigger, so if I bring both of them in for you. Okay, so it's considerably bigger. Now, this book is released by HBO, and they were the same company who produced the TV series. And then obviously this is the publisher down here. Okay, so over here on this, we can see that the illustrations are by Alan Jefferson and Adriana Mello. The illustrations are based on photography by Game of Thrones. So it's based on actual footage and pictures. Now this is the Iron Throne. So if you look on the page here, you can see the name for each page, which is really, really handy. Then I'll try fit this in for you. Okay, so this is the map of Westeros and Essos. So yeah, you could really do like a vintage map, or you could have a colorful map. It's up to you. Then here is a picture of Eddard Stark. Now my only criticism with some of the double page portraits is that the portrait or the figure is often quite close to the middle of the book. So it will make for coloring a little bit more challenging. I would say the paper is probably very similar to the first book. It's quite thick. I mean, it's not cardstock, but it's decent thickness. This is Winterfell. You could probably use watercolor paints and water-based medium. I'm not sure how it will respond. If it is like the Game of Thrones coloring book, it will probably handle it relatively okay. So yeah, I would test it maybe at the back and see how it works. All right, so then here we have King's Landing. Very much a landscape sort of feel to a lot of these pages. This is the Three-Eyed Crow, and then here we have Sansa Stark. This is Jon Snow and his direwolf ghost. Then obviously here we have the Great Hall and the Red Keep with the Iron Throne. Cersei Lannister, Jaime Lannister. And it's really lovely how they have even included the sigils. Then here we have Dragonstone. The Eyrie up here. This is the Battle of Blackwater, which would be in season 2. I stand to correction, but I remember it. All right, this is Daenerys and the Army of the Unsullied. Now I know this is in season 3, because that is where I've seen Daenerys going and try and get her Unsullied army. Now I don't know if this picture is from season 3 or if it's later on, but that's that's the part I'm at. And then here obviously we have the sigil of the House of Targaryen. All right, here is the Night's Watch. So this, because of the place or the location of the Night's Watch, you're going to have a lot of ice. So the background will be very icy. It's very cold. So yeah, just give you a little bit of context there. Then here we have the wildlings attack the Night's Watch. So that is around book 3 or so. Here we have Tyrion Lannister and Arya Stark. Then Sandor Clegane and Daenerys Targaryen. There's quite a few pictures of Daenerys. This is Drogon. You can find the photographs for this book because I did find this photograph, and it lends itself to quite a dramatic sort of look and feel, especially in the background. So it's totally up to you how you want to color it. And for those of you who like reference photos, you can get them. This is a Baron Martell, Joffrey Baratheon, sitting on, he was the boy king over the area, and this is him sitting on the Iron Throne. Can you imagine sitting on a throne made entirely of swords? All right, here we have the White Walker army. Here we have Daenerys escaping on Drogon. This is the astrolabe. You have a lot of Celtic sort of knots, or sort of these sort of things, which if you want, you could possibly use a gel pen and do a lot of the fine detailing that way, maybe even along here. So yeah, you could pay attention to the details or just leave them completely off. All right, these are the giants and the mammoths beyond the wall, which because of these falling bits of snow here, I'm presuming you're going to have more of a wintry sort of landscape going on here. But you do have some greenery, so yeah. All right, this is Bravos. This reminds me of in Mythic World, there's a page in there where you've got the giant god and he's standing and he's got like the land forming part of his legs. So I don't know the context for this page, but yeah, that's what comes to mind. All right, and then here we have the sigils for Stark, Baratheon, Targaryen, and Lannister. Here we have the Night King at Hardhome. This is Melisandre, and here we have Brienne of Tarth. And then the Sons of the Harpy. The Hall of Many Faces. Probably a very limited palette here. And the end of the book. There you go, there's a cup, there's a picture of it being kind of colored in, give you an idea. All right, so that is the HBO version of the Game of Thrones coloring book, and that is the end of my full flip through of both my Game of Thrones coloring books. I hope you've enjoyed this video. I hope seeing the actual illustrations has been helpful to you if you want to buy these books, or if you are interested in the Game of Thrones series and enjoy coloring. So whatever it is that you do, I hope that this video has been of benefit to you and been informative and helpful. Until next time, everyone, take care, and I hope that you have many happy hours coloring. Until next time, bye for now.